So I'm in bed still, and I was more or less in bed all of yesterday, and I wouldn't be surprised if I might go to the sofa today, but I'm so depressed that I have just no desire to live, no desire to want to be here. I don't understand why so many people like being here. I don't understand why so many people know about me, and it's been 11 years and still no one's helping me or trying to make my life better or trying to explain to me why they're ignoring me. It's 100% too late. You cannot fix what I've gone through. You've destroyed my life, and I hope that something good can come out of it, and I think the only thing that good can come out of it is getting rid of the human species. That is seriously how depressed I am right now. I feel like there's a ton of YouTube videos that are incredibly depressing and just going on about torture and the horrible things that have happened to people. There's a whole bunch of people that are saying that they were part of the child sex trafficking, and they've been, I don't know, having sex with guys since they were 4. And I don't know what to believe, because the world is full of horrible people, but I think mostly the world is full of liars. And therefore, are these girls, have they really gone through this? I mean, I don't think it's not a nice thing to have sex with a kid. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, why would anyone do that? I just don't understand why anyone would do that. But why would someone lie about that? Oh, because maybe 1 or 2 people have done that to them, and they're angry and they're trying to make it out, and they're in a bad mood, and they're exaggerating, lying about stuff, trying to get more attention, saying, oh, I got raped for probably about 6 hours a week for every day, 6 hours of, if she's making out that she was raped for about 6 hours a week every day for 12 years, from the age of 3 all the way up to 12 or whatever, she could say that there was 1,000 hours in total. But yeah, is there really that many people wanting to have sex with children? I would love to know what's true and what's not, and I think it would be so easy to lie about something like this. She said that she had gone into prostitution. She looked like she was in her 40s. She said she had gone into prostitution, and the thing about prostitutes is that you lose your respect for people. You lose your respect for your clients, and once you've lost your respect for people, then you're very capable of lying about stuff like this. If you hate people, or if, say, you were raped when you were 10, 12, 13, 14, you want to get people you want to get people to to listen to you to try and find these people, or you have this horrible view or mindset on of the world, and you want other people to have the same mindset. So, I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking, my God, I hate the world. If everyone, she was saying that there was Belgian politicians and stuff like this, and there was lots of up people, rich people and stuff, and I think something's happened to her that sparked her to have this view. But I'm God, and I've come across that video, and that video just made me want to hate the world, hate people, vilely hate everyone. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe that's the reason why she's doing it. Not because it's the truth, but because she's just wanting other people to watch this video and feel the anger and hate that she has towards people. If you have hatred towards other people, you will be far more inclined to say things that are going to make other people feel the same way as you. I'm incredibly depressed, and I know that a lot of things that I'm thinking are making other people feel the same way as me. And I want to do this. Why? Because this is how I feel, and I'm trying, though, to stick to the truth as much as I can, because part of the reason why I'm so angry is because I don't know who's telling the truth and who's not. There's so many stories going around. I just watched one where some 10-year-old was, or I don't know how old she is, was I don't know, literally tortured by some guy for 10 days and had broken arms and was in restraints. And is this story true? I mean, it is unlikely to be true. Who would do that to a 10-year-old? Like, and the mother leaving the child with this guy for 10 days whilst knowing that he's forced her to drink alcohol at a very young age and shoved cigarettes in her mouth, and there's every time she leaves the child with this child, even from the age of 3, there was always bruises on. I mean, where are you even getting this information from? Like, I can't listen to this, because it's, there's a ton of videos where people try and convince you that the aliens are here, that there's a bunch of aliens living in spaceships, and that they're just waiting for the right time to expose themselves, and the government know. And if you watch a number of videos about aliens and people convincing other people that aliens are the truth, of course they're not the truth. Of course they're not here. Why would they just be hiding and doing nothing? Why would they not be exposing themselves? And therefore you see all those alien videos and you think, well, this is all just lies. Obviously, this clearly is not the truth. And maybe people think they've seen stuff, but everything they're saying, there was 20 people in this one event saw this happening, and just like, yeah, says you. How do I know 20 people? Have you got 20 people coming forward on this video to say it? And then they'll probably bring like 2 or 3. And I'm just like, well, how do I know this is the truth? I mean, if you'd give... I bet I could make a ton of alien videos. If I gave a bunch of poor liars money, people who don't have money, people who are desperate for money, people who are maybe drug addicts or just doing anything for money, and I'll say, I'll give you £200 if you just say on this video that you saw an alien, that this was this, and then I could easily make, everything that I'm watching on these videos could be fake, and it's annoying me, because it's like, I don't want to know what the fake is. I want to know what the real is, and I want to know how many people are lying. And I think it's highly likely that 120 people have come forward against Diddy to say that, make up all sorts of allegations. I think it's highly likely, because this world is full of liars, and I think liars are actually the biggest problem of this world, and therefore, because of this, I can watch all these videos about, I don't know, guys torturing 10-year-olds and doing horrible things to them, or battering their girlfriend for 6 hours, and maybe it's the truth, maybe it's not the truth. But that video that I watched about that girl in Russia who the police were calling, and she was apparently just being beaten and tortured for 6 hours whilst the neighbours outside couldn't open the door because it was barred shut. I mean, why would they have a door that's metal and not even opened? I mean, I don't think they even showed the residents. Like, did they actually show the residents? And I can't remember if they interviewed the residents who heard this torture, but it would be so easy to just fake all of it, fake the documentary, fake the lies, fake the witnesses, fake everything, and just say, and because there's so many Christians that do exactly that. You could tell a Christian about, there's a video about Revelation and how, this John said this, and this is what we know, that God gave John this vision because this vision is not of something of this world, and therefore it's evidence that God gave this vision to show something that was out of a different world. Yeah, or it's just made up shit. And then they can constantly take like little bits and just say, because of that we know this, and I know what you're thinking. Yes, why is John getting a vision of Jesus as a ghost with a sword in his mouth with fire in his eyes, and also getting a vision of him being a lamb? These are 2 different images. So I know what you're thinking. Why is this? No, I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking, why do you believe this? And they're just trying to people are constantly trying to brainwash you into believing things, into believing that this is the truth, and then you're just thinking, how does this make me feel? It just makes me feel shit. And then I'm like, well, is that the main goal of this? Just to make people feel like shit? Just to make people hate the world, make people hate each other, make people want to war against each other, make people... And I don't want to be here. I don't want to live here. I want to get rid of the liars. I want to get rid of the liars, because the liars are people that would take random stories that they've seen online and then turn it into a video and say that this is all the truth, when really they've just read a scripture. This is how the Bible was formed. The Bible was formed by a bunch of people just making up random bits of scripture and poetry and things that don't make sense, and then someone came along and said, I'm going to turn this into something else. I'm going to turn this into a Bible and put numbers on the words, on all the sentences, and I'm going to use this to try and control people. And isn't that exactly what YouTube are doing? There's people making lots and lots of stories about, this happened and this happened and this happened, and I'm sure they haven't got their research from nowhere. I'm sure they have done some research into it, but if the source, the original source of where they're getting this information from is all false, then how do they, they might generally believe that this 10-year-old really was tortured for 10 days. Or maybe they've just read something online that's a false story, a false narrative, and they're just lying. Or there's people that literally torture animals just so they can film them being rescued and film their recovery, like literally put tar or paint. I mean, I hope they're not doing that deliberately. I really, really hope that. I don't know what's fake and what's not, but I've seen these horrible videos where an animal has been tortured and they are saving them, but a part of me wonders, has that animal been tortured by someone else, or has it been made for the purpose of making this video? And with the number of people that would do that, why would there not be people that are just taking up stories and trying to create narratives about how horrific something was, when really maybe the whole thing is made up? And I don't think these people realize the damage that they're causing on people. They're causing people to hate one another. If there's a bunch of people that are going out killing people, it might be because they've been brainwashing themselves with a bunch of this, and they're all being brainwashed into believing that the human species is just vile and sick and disgusting, and maybe it is. Or maybe it's just liars that are picking up on this because they think they're doing some sort of good by telling people these stories, when really they're just making them. How does it feel? There's a video that I just posted. How does it feel to know that some 10-year-old, or however old she was, I don't think it's even said the age yet, was brutally tortured for 10 days by someone. It makes you hate humans, and to think that humans like this are just walking around, blending in with society, kind of just makes you want to kill society and in hopes of getting rid of these people. I'm not feeling very well at all, and my depression is just getting worse, and then I just try and not do it. I have a few nights I've just turned the TV off, not watched anything, and just tried to sleep. That doesn't actually help, because the next morning I still have nothing to do, and I still find myself watching these videos, and I can't seem to find anything positive. It's a little bit, I'm curious over what Elon was doing with that $1 million a day. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a scam, right? You just got a couple of people to say, hey, I'll give you £200 if you lie and pretend that you're one of the people that will give in £1 million to. Maybe it wasn't. I mean, how much would you have to? I would love to know the answer. Elon, how much did you have to pay people to get them to speak on camera and say that you've just given them £1 million? I don't believe you gave them £1 million. $1 million is it? $1 million is a lot of money. And I don't believe that you would just be randomly giving that to people who probably don't deserve it. But if you think about Trump supporters, is if you're a Trump supporter, you might lie not even for money, but just to help Trump win. You find a bunch of people who are strong Trump supporters, and say, hey, let's try and win more points to Trump. I'll give you some money if you pretend that I've given you £1 million, and I'll get a whole bunch of you, and will do this to try and get people to vote for Trump, and you know, is that what happened? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't believe that Elon would be foolish enough to give people £1 million a day just for what, making a vote to vote Trump. I mean, I really don't. I don't think that's true at all, and I feel like the government might even be knowing these things and testing it. You know, how little does someone have to? How little can you give someone to get them to stand up on camera and lie about being given being a lucky winner that's been given £1 million, and you do it solely to help Trump people gain more people. I mean, if you get Trump supporters, I bet there'll be a lot of Trump supporters that might be willing to do it for free just to get more people to vote for Trump. I mean, I don't know if they'll do it for free, but yeah, could you give them as little as £100 to get them to do that? Maybe, you know. It is all fake, and there are going to be people that are going to try and sue him for millions of pounds over it. That's kind of what you'd expect in a horrible world where people just care about themselves. I suppose if you get people to participate, you'd have to get them to sign some sort of contract saying that you can't sue if this turns out to be fake. But the problem is you can't actually say that. I mean, the thing is, it's so obviously fake that if it did turn out to be fake, you shouldn't be allowed to sue someone over it, because why should he just give millions of pounds to people for voting for Trump? I mean, why should he, even though he's saying that he is? Why should he do this? Why should he have to? This is obviously lies. You know, it's obviously lies. But yeah. I'm really, really sick of waiting. I'm really sick of waiting. I'm sick of not knowing how long the wait is. I don't know why people are not helping me. You know, I guess a part of me is wondering, maybe the government is full of child paedophiles and they don't want to help me because they know that I'm against paedophilia, and they don't want to support me because they know that I'm just going to use this to try and kill them. I mean, if there's billions of people in the world, then I can't get rid of the bad ones, because they're just going to be forced back into human bodies because they're better than the lions. That's the other alternative option. You know, the Matrix is going to choose the best souls for the human species, and if the world is run by disgusting, horrible people, maybe they don't want me to reduce the population, because then their chances of becoming back as a human are coming back. Their chances of coming back as a human are slim. And they wouldn't want to help me, so maybe that's the reason why they're not helping me. But if that's the case, then why were there not enough good people to put in place? I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be alive. I want you to legalize suicide, and I want to die.